What's up? Welcome into another daily Buckeye Blitz. I am your host, Joe Warwick, with your Wednesday Blitz for Hump Day, August 24th, 2022. You made it halfway home, or more than halfway, really. If you're listening to this, you're actually past half your day. So good for you. Today, I want to talk about some quotes from Monday's press conference with Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator. I'm going to run through a bunch of bullet points. He has a lot of interesting things to say, a lot of information. The defense is probably one of the bigger concerns, I would say, coming out of fall camp, right? I mean, what else is there? So let's jump into it. He said, I'll go in chronological order. Meanwhile, you can go back and listen to these on my YouTube channel or on the podcast feed. Just search the Buckeye Cast, so you can hear the audio from these press conferences and shit. So here we go. JT and Jack it's not really fair to compare them. They're very similar, and he sees them doing the same jobs, same types of things. They have the same abilities. All right. He said that they almost had a full secondary. So the safeties and corners were almost back to the starter level. Probably Jordan Hancock, I would imagine, or Cam Brown's still on a pitch count. So those two guys might not be 100% full go yet. But I think if a game were to start tomorrow, I think Cam definitely starts, and then Jordan Hancock probably could fill in, as a backup. So this was surprising. He said 75% of the defense has been installed. He's feeling comfortable, and now they're really just focusing on Notre Dame and specific opponent. He was at 25% just like 2 weeks ago. That's what's weird. So they must have crammed a lot of shit in the last 2 weeks. He said that they've come farther than expected. He never expects to get to 100%. He likes to keep things in reserve. And then pull them out during the season as needed, but he doesn't want to spring a bunch of new things on the players that they might not need, probably talking about some more exotic stuff that you really wouldn't use very often, like a bear front, for example. You're probably not going to need that. Maybe couple plays, maybe half of a game, but he'll pull that out as needed. So like I said, he doesn't have many concerns as the corners are starting to come back and get healthy. He just wants to see it in a live game situation, otherwise he doesn't have any concerns. So that makes me rest easy. He said in the secondary, J.K. Johnson has really stepped up. He's increased his knowledge and his competitiveness, and he feels comfortable putting him in a game. He said he had no comment on Jordan Hancock's health. His quote was, "That's not my bailiwick." Bailiwick. Don't hear that every day. He says we have enough experienced guys that are ready, and the offense gives them a good test in practice. And rotation wise, he's fine with rotating the front four, the D line, and keeping them fresh. That's kind of Coach Johnson's MO. He likes to keep guys fresh and rolling through there, so guys don't get winded. But he wants the back seven to get in the flow of the game and have less rotation. He talked about having like an extra corner, an extra safety, and an extra linebacker. Other than that, he doesn't like to get too many guys rolling through the back seven, the linebackers and the secondary. So that's interesting to know. Talk specifically about Lathan Ransom. Says he has a quick trigger. He can diagnose a play, and he's aggressive when he does trigger, and he stands out on the field. He plays at a fast tempo, and he expects a great season out of Lathan. So do we, right? What else? Surprises. He says he's surprised about how quickly the players pick things up. He said they want to be great. They want to avenge last season, and they want to learn. So they want to be the silver bullets, you know, and he talked about that legacy. They talk about it daily in their meetings. They want to create something special, a defense they can be proud of. And he said, there's no reason they shouldn't be a top 5 defense. You know, they have a top 5 offense. Why not have a top 5 defense? So I like that. And he says they're able to be competitive against the best offense in the country in practice. He's talking about. So he feels great about the competitiveness. He talked about Tommy Eichenberg specifically. He learns at a fast pace. He's quiet, but he processes things quickly. He can read and diagnose a play. Sounds similar to Lathan Ransom, right? He said he can read and diagnose. He's a serious dude, and he's not jacking around. That's funny. But anyways, I think that's why Tommy Eichenberg is your middle linebacker starter. He says he likes to have guys that can be a combo guy, is what he calls them. He calls them combo guys that are D-line or linebacker, D-line/linebacker. He talked about Court being a linebacker/safety. So I think that's why he wants to institute Court Williams into that run defense package without bringing in a third linebacker, because Court is a big freaking safety, right? Says the jack position is not the Leo yet. It's a work in progress. When one guy can handle any call and they aren't limited by any defensive call, then that's when they'll make the transition to the Leo. But apparently he doesn't have that yet. He says specifically against Notre Dame and the tight end Mayer, they want size against a tight end like him that can play the run, a bigger player that won't get bodied out, you know, think of basketball and going up for a ball. All the safeties can do it, he says. They're all physical dudes. When he says bigger player, I think of maybe Proctor, definitely Court. I'm not sure Lathan Ransom comes to mind, though, just because of size, really. So anyways, he said on the D-line, we're super deep and talented, and you'll see a lot of guys rotating. So we could go 3 deep, especially early in the season when it's hot still, you know, and humid. Guys are getting gassed early on. So I could definitely see that. And just in reference to going against CJ every day in practice, he said CJ's superior. He's top of the line. He talks about being around Eli Manning at Ole Miss, and he said it's like going against Eli in that every defense has a weakness, and how quickly can that quarterback find the weakness? You know, he said really the way the game's played now, you need like 13 dudes, right, to cover everything. So, he said that CJ likes to ask him questions from a defensive point of view to get what he's seeing, and he's one of the best that he's been around. So pretty cool. Today on Wednesday yesterday we have Coach Walton in the corners, Coach Eliano in the safeties. Today we have Hartline in the wide receivers, and then Parker Fleming and special teamers. So keep locked into this wherever you're watching or listening, and you'll have the audio from those to listen to. Same day, I'll crank it out. All right. Talk to you later. Have a good one, and go Bucks.